Want to know which Cricut you should buy? This video is for you. So here you can see that I have all the Cricut machines laid out. And although it says which Cricut I should buy to start a business, this also refers to Cricut beginners. So if you want to know as a Cricut beginner, like which Cricut machine should I buy for those who want to know, which Cricut is best for shirts, for weddings, for stickers, this video is for you. I'm going to talk about which Cricut machine is the best. And honestly, that just depends on what types of projects you want to create. So let's jump right in. So the first things first, what I want to say is the Cricut machine that you should buy really depends on what you want to create. Okay. So if you want to create larger projects, you definitely want to go ahead and exit out of the Cricut Joy and the Cricut Joy Extra. As you can see here for this size, these machines are a bit smaller. And their cutting area is a bit smaller as well. Although the price point is relatively low for these machines overall are smaller, and you definitely want to take that into consideration. Now, I do have prices here, but these prices do tend to fluctuate. So by the time you watch this video, these prices will likely be different. So again, be sure to do your research, make sure that you're getting the best price for yourself. Now, again, as I mentioned, these two Cricut Joy machines, they are smaller machines. Once you move into like the full size Cricut machines, and that ranges from the Cricut Explore Air 2 all the way down to the Cricut Maker 4, these are your standard size machines, okay? So they're about 21, 22 inches in width, and these are the larger cutting machines that can do a lot of different types of projects. So one thing you want to pay attention to is the material. So how many materials can this Cricut machine cut? Now, you will probably not end up cutting all 100, 200, or 300 materials, but you definitely want to make sure that, if there's a one-off project and you want to try a different type of material, that you have the ability to do so. One of the starter machines that I always recommend is the Cricut Explore Air 2. I have one of these machines. I've had it since 2018 and I absolutely love it still. It can do a lot of different things. So this is one of the Cricut machines that I recommend for Cricut beginners. So with this machine, you can still do a whole bunch of stuff. There's also the Cricut Explore 3, Cricut Explore 4. And with these three Cricut Explore machines, it just depends on how much you want to spend on a machine, okay? Obviously, when you go up with those Cricut Explore machines, you get more access to different things. So again, looking at the price point, also looking at the size of the machine, they're about the same. With the Cricut Explore Air 2, it can cut about 200 materials, whereas the Cricut 3 and the Cricut 4 can only cut about 100 or so. Now, when it comes to like smart materials, and those are basically Cricut branded materials, and you can use them without a mat. So basically, you can cut HTV or adhesive vinyl without a mat. Only the Cricut Explorer 3 and 4 can do that, and that's within the Cricut Explorer family, okay? Now, when we get down to some additional things, I will say that, what it can do. So these are the things that the Cricut Explorer machines can do. They can all basically do the same thing. The biggest thing when it comes to the Cricut Explorer family machines is how fast they can cut, and then also if you want to be able to cut without a mat. Again, that only works for those Cricut branded materials. So if you plan on buying like adhesive vinyl or HTV from other companies, on Amazon or wherever else, they're not Cricut branded materials, you probably don't care about being able to use those smart materials. One thing that I do want to say about the Cricut Explorer Air 2 is that it cannot read glossy paper, or if you want to basically like put some holographic like sticker paper on top of your project, you will have to make sure that it's within those registration marks, that the glossiness is not covering those registration marks. That's a whole nother video in itself. Then I'm going to move over to the Cricut Maker family. So you have the Cricut Maker 3, and then also the Cricut Maker 4. I have the Cricut Maker 3, I absolutely love it. And I'm not really sure that you can still buy the Cricut Maker machine. This machine may have been discontinued. I'm not 100% sure, but it's hard trying to find it online. So that machine may be discontinued. So I'm just going to move into the Cricut Maker 3 and the Cricut Maker 4 machines. One thing you will notice the difference between like the Cricut Maker machines and the Cricut Explore machines is that, as you can see here, what the machines can do. So the Cricut Explore family can do a limited number of things, whereas the Cricut Maker machines can do a whole bunch more things, such as engraving, debossing, and perforating as well. So if that's something that you're looking into, you definitely want to consider getting a Cricut Maker machine, whether that's a Cricut Maker 3 or a Cricut Maker 4. These machines can cut more than 300 materials, okay? That can also cut on glossy paper, and the Cricut Maker machines are much more faster, okay? Moving now to the Cricut Maker 4 machine. This machine in particular is the fastest of all the Cricut Maker machines. And you can see the price point right here as of the recording of this video. You can also cut smart materials with it as well. So personally, I would say that you should invest in a Cricut Maker 3 or a Cricut Maker 4. The price points that I have right here, they probably do need to be updated, but again, just do your research to see. But overall, I do recommend either the Cricut Maker 3 or the Cricut Maker 4 machines. All these other machines down here, they're great machines, but if you want to be able to cut all the different types of things, for a wedding, stickers, shirts, all that type of stuff, definitely recommend the Cricut Maker 3 or the Cricut Maker 4. The Cricut Venture is the biggest Cricut machine that exists. It's 34.8 inches in length. It can cut over 100 materials. It cannot like engrave, deboss, or perforate. So that's something that you want to consider as well. And that machine is good for like mass producing different types of projects. But again, that price point is much larger because it is a bigger Cricut machine overall. So at the end of the day, which Cricut machine should you buy? Which Cricut machine is best for beginners? I personally recommend the Cricut Maker 3 or the Cricut Maker 4. Also, to get this PDF, you can go down below in the description. You will see a link for this PDF. It's 2 pages. And again, as I mentioned before, even though it says which Cricut should I buy to start a business, this PDF is also good for Cricut beginners, people who either already have a Cricut machine and are looking for a new machine, or if you do not have a Cricut machine, you're thinking about getting a Cricut machine, this video is also good for you as well. So get the link to this PDF down below. Let me know down below in the comments, which Cricut machine do you have? What Cricut machine are you thinking about getting? If you have any questions or comments, leave those down below as well. And as always, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.